This video brought to you by Alpha Draft, the premier fantasy esports website. Click the link in the description to learn more or stay to the end of this video. Off at the number 3 spot, we have the red team Lee Sin going for the gank on the enemy. Gangplank up in the top lane. Gangplank taking a turret shot after going for the dive on Wu. As Lee Sin ward jumps, Gangplank will flash away. Lee Sin missing on the Sonic Wave. Will get a couple of auto attacks as Gangplank turns with the parlay, getting some health back himself. Lee Sin then missing on another Sonic Wave and then go for a point blank ward jump followed by a flash as he tries to get away. Ultimately going down and giving Graves the kill. Gonna belong to the blue team Yasuo in this one, with the blue team heading for a for sure win as they work on that first Nexus turret. It will fall down rather easily, but Yasuo is gonna branch off and decide to go for some minion kills as well, as the second turret takes forever to kill. Yasuo does jump back in to help out with the second Nexus turret as he finishes off the creeps. The second Nexus turret does go down as Yasuo landing the NATO and then the last breath on the enemy Rek'Sai, then getting knocked up by Blitzcrank. He does end up going down instead of helping out with the Nexus. Nexus dropping lower and lower as the enemy team start to respawn. The Nexus will drop under 20 health at one point. I think it hit 10 health as the red team finished off the remainder of the blue team. Then we jump forward just a couple of minutes later as the red team pushed down that middle lane. There will be a fight, leaving only the blue team Amumu alive as the red team work on both Nexus turrets. They will do it uncontested, eventually wiping out the Nexus and finishing what Yasuo couldn't do and take the win for their team. From both teams. Starting off though, we have the red team after taking a kill on the enemy Gangplank and Kindred as they go for that Baron. Fiddle tanking it with the live drain as Zed from the other team makes an appearance from the outside of the pit, having vision on the red team. As Baron drops lower and lower, Zed will pop the Youmuu's and go over the wall with the shadow death marking Fiddlesticks. He will be exhausted and feared, followed by the headbutt as Zed does end up going down, but with the help of Baron, he does manage to kill on the enemy Varus and Alistar. Fiddle and Jinx staying in the pit trying to finish off the Baron as Baron is extremely low on health, under 500, but Baron will be able to finish off Jinx and then Fiddlesticks. This gives Zed the quadra kill as his friendly Gangplank teleporting in. Baron's still under 500 health, but Gangplank isn't going to be able to finish the job as he is executed. Baron will for the ult on the enemy Vayne. Vayne will be finished off as Sivir takes the kill for the shutdown. Mouse will find himself by himself in the middle lane as his friendlies fall one at a time. The enemy team are going to underestimate the power of an Azir turret as Mouse finds himself in the center of 3 enemies. Riven going ham trying to take the kill. Mouse will flash away, is not, is finished off by the Azir turret. Kazakhstan leaping in trying to finish off the low health kill, but ends up going down to the turret as well. Riven then wanting to take her turn as she finishes off the Azir turret. She eventually is scared off though by Kindred. Taliyah and her blue team members as Taliyah going for the ultimate, walling off Volibear and Taric, the 2 most tanky champions on the enemy team, as they all group up. Orianna is going to land a 5-person shockwave on the other side of the wall. This results in 4 almost instant kills and eventually a 5th as the red team take the ace. Not only that, but they will manage the second tier turret down in the bot lane, the inhibitor turret, the inhibitor, both Nexus turrets, and eventually the Nexus for the win. Fail is going to belong to the blue team in this one, with the red team Swain up in the top lane minding his own business. He's going to be swarmed by 4 members of the enemy blue team. As Swain retreats back towards his turret, he will be pounded upon by the blue team, but keeping himself alive with that crow form as the enemy team still going for the dive, stunned in place on the turret, taking a huge amount of damage. Swain though out healing their damage as they're all dropped low the turret, and Swain will manage the quadra kill as Swain goes back to what he was doing before he was rudely interrupted. Caitlyn AFK walking to her bot lane, overextending a little bit inside a group of minions while she goes and checks the popcorn or something along those lines. We will have to fast forward just a little bit as she is AFK for quite a while in the middle of those minions. Kog'Maw then showing up, seeing a free kill in Caitlyn. Luckily, Caitlyn will have backup in her friendly Lulu, as Lulu landing the polymorph just in time for Caitlyn, who was not completely AFK after all, to get back to her turret. Kog'Maw still seeing a free kill in Caitlyn, will get a little too close as Lulu puts out a ton of damage damage. Cog then falling back, but he didn't account for Caitlyn actually paying attention. In that middle lane, dueling it out against the enemy Fizz. Fizz though getting back up in his friendly Zac, as Zac comes with a slingshot. The slingshot will miss as Fizz and Zac trying to finish off Mord. Mord though keeping himself alive as he ults Fizz and ignites, and Fizz will jump away with the playful trickster, only to flash back in to go down, giving Mord the shutdown. Now Zac trying to flee over the wall is going to fail his flash as Mordekaiser in that middle lane now with the Fizz pet will continue to push away, eventually taking the first tier turret as he moves on to the second one. As Mordekaiser starts to put damage on the turret, the enemy bot lane is going to show up, flanking him from the back. Twitch coming into stealth will throw out the cask, this will miss. Mord then blocking any chance of a hook from Thresh as he flashes behind Twitch in front of his minions, taking the kill with the bursty damage, as Mord now keeping himself alive against the enemy Thresh. Thresh trying to get a couple of turret shots but not having his way. As Mordekaiser runs into a side of the Thresh box, he will be able to turn around and finish off Thresh as well, making that an unofficial quadra kill. Go on a chase against the red team. It will be a little bit late before they notice Vayne heading down that middle lane with an open inhibitor and both the Nexus turrets exposed. The blue team though opting to try to chase her down instead of recalling back to base as Vayne makes her way towards the Nexus. She will be able to get a few auto attacks off and pop the ultimate as the enemy blue team now showing up. Vayne taking the Nexus under half health though before they actually lay a hand on her. She does ultimately finish off the Nexus and grant her team the victory. Fail is going to belong to Taliyah, the newest champion in the league, making her way down that middle lane with her friendly Vayne by her side, deciding to go for the Weavers while walking isn't fast enough. She is going to boop her friendly Vayne right on top of a Teemo mushroom. This eventually finishes her off and gives Teemo the kill. Thank you guys so much for watching this recap. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is brought to you by Alpha Draft, the premier fantasy esports website. Similar to fantasy football, fantasy baseball, etc. You build your own team, then you compete against others for cash and prizes. You can play for free or you can play paid. It's totally up to you and definitely a lot of fun. And if you haven't been over there recently, they have updated the site a lot since the original release, so I would highly recommend checking it out. If you use the code JITP, they will actually match all of your money up to $250. So if you want to go check that out, there should be a link in the description down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.